Ever bought something and later wondered why? That impulse felt real, urgent, even justified. But what if the purchase was a reaction, not a decision? Today I will pull back the curtain on emotional spending. You will learn how tiny triggers hijack your wallet. I will show one surprising habit that stops impulsive buys in their tracks. Stay with me because I will also answer the dopamine question. Is it the villain or the tool? Two secrets will change how you shop. One I will reveal now. The other waits until later. Ready to find out why you bought that gadget and how to stop repeating it? Money is a tool, but our brains treat it like identity. That makes emotions central to spending. We do not just buy things. We buy feelings, status, comfort, and relief. The first step is separating the purchase from the feeling it promises. Ask yourself a clean question. What emotion am I chasing? People chase belonging, excitement, or the relief of avoiding FOMO. Those motives play on deep wiring. Behavioral economics shows that immediate emotional payoff beats abstract future benefits. That explains why a sale sticker can feel like free money. It is not. It is a tiny emotional loop designed to trigger action. This section also begins our first open loop about a habit that breaks the loop. I hinted at it in the intro. You will see it again near the end when we assemble practical steps. For now, notice how often emotion sneaks into your justifications. The awareness itself reduces its power. Try one short exercise. Pause for 10 seconds before every non-essential purchase and notice the feeling behind the click. Triggers are the little events that flip the switch. A notification, an ad, a stressful day. Most triggers are predictable. The key is mapping yours. Keep a simple log for a week. Note time, mood, trigger, and the item. Within days, patterns emerge. Maybe you order food when bored at 3 p.m. Maybe you click buy after scrolling for 10 minutes. Once mapped, triggers are no longer mysterious. You can design interventions. Swap scrolling with a 5-minute walk. Mute notifications before dinner. Remove saved cards from shopping apps so a friction step stands between impulse and purchase. This section introduces a practical, trackable habit that will appear again later. A tiny buffer that breaks the automatic response. We will pair it with a mindfulness cue. The goal is not perfect restraint. It is redirecting the automatic reaction into a conscious choice. Try mapping triggers this week, and you will be surprised how often purchases lose their momentum when exposed. Dopamine gets blamed for impulsive buys, but the truth is more subtle. Dopamine signals anticipation, not pleasure itself. It motivates approaches, not just addiction. That means you can use dopamine instead of fighting it. When you expect a reward, your brain pushes you toward action. Marketers exploit this. They build anticipation with notifications, limited time offers, and social proof. Understanding dopamine gives you leverage. Instead of chasing the immediate hit, schedule a delayed reward. Make a small, healthy anticipation ritual that does not cost money. For example, save a week to think about a purchase and reward yourself with a non-financial ritual when you resist. This reframes dopamine from impulsive fuel into a strategic motivator. Also remember, the second open loop from the intro, whether dopamine is villain or tool. Here we close that loop by showing it is a tool when channeled. Controlled anticipation is powerful. Use it and you turn the brain's impulse system into an ally. Social pressure is invisible but pervasive. We buy not just to feel, but to belong. Social media compresses signals. A single image can suggest a lifestyle to chase. Ads use social proof to mimic peer approval. But your reference group is a choice. Reframe who you compare yourself to. Choose people who model the financial habits you want. Small shifts in social circles change spending norms. Also consider public commitments. Telling a friend about a saving goal creates accountability. You can use social mechanics positively. Create a low-cost ritual with friends, a monthly dinner instead of a store haul, or join an online group focused on saving, not spending. The pressure does not vanish, but you can redirect it. Societal signals are inputs, not commands. Decide which signals you accept. This section sets up the mindset for the 2 mini stories that follow, showing how everyday moments and workplace identity trigger spending in different ways. Imagine a Tuesday evening. You scroll while dinner cooks. A flash sale appears. You tell yourself it is a small treat. You buy an expensive gadget. Later, you feel a twinge of regret. This is a familiar loop. The trigger was boredom, and the emotion was escape. The result was spending you did not plan. In this story, the simple intervention was effective. Before purchase, the person closed the app, wrote down the item, and set a 3-day wait. On day 3, the impulse had faded. They either canceled or bought with intention. This moment shows how everyday context matters. It also shows why small friction and a waiting rule work. A 3-day rule is not punishment. It creates space between impulse and action. Try it tonight for any non-essential click. Leave the item in a wish list and revisit after a cooling period. You will be surprised how often the urge fades. Now picture a mid-level manager aiming to signal success. They buy designer shoes for client meetings. The purchase feels like professional armor. This is workplace identity spending. The driver is not need but image. The manager equates polish with competence. The twist: changing identity is cheaper than changing wardrobe. By reframing competence as communication and preparation, they replaced an expensive habit with 3 low-cost rituals: better notes, punctuality, and a curated set of affordable staples. Those rituals delivered the same perceived confidence with lower cost. Identity spending can be redesigned. Ask, what image am I buying and what cheaper behaviors create the same signal? Often the signal is skills, not labels. Shift investment from goods to capability. Invest in visible habits that cost less but convey more. That reduces regret and builds real professional capital, not just status trappings. Now we assemble the toolkit. Start with awareness. Map triggers this week. Add friction, remove saved cards, and use a wish list. Use the 3-day rule for non-essential purchases. Channel dopamine. Create low-cost anticipation rituals. Rewire identity. Invest in habits that signal the image you want. Use social structures. Tell a friend about a savings goal or join a thrift-focused group. And practice one mindfulness cue. Pause and name the feeling before you buy. The final habit from the intro is simple. A single, breathing pause paired with a written note. Breathe for 6 seconds. Write why you want the item. If the reason is emotional, delay. If it is practical, proceed. This buffer breaks the automatic loop. These strategies are small, repeatable, and scalable. They do not require willpower heroics. Instead, they change environment and identity. Try one new tactic per week and measure results. Over months, the cumulative impact compounds more than one big sacrifice. If one of these strategies landed, try it today. Map a trigger, use the 3-day rule, or take the breathing pause. Share which tactic you tried in the comments to help others adapt faster. Emotional spending is not a flaw. It is a predictable system. You can map triggers, channel dopamine, and redesign identity to reduce regret. Small buffers like the 3-day rule and a breathing pause shift habit without heroism. Use social mechanics to support change. Start with one simple tactic this week and build from there. The goal is not perfect control, but better choices driven by values rather than reflex.